Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Now this channel is all about documenting my progress as I learn the skills to become a decent mountain bike rider. I'm just taking my time, I'm learning the craft, I'm trying to watch every tutorial video that I can and implement those skills into my own riding. Now what you're seeing here today, this is one of my recent outings at Kittatinny Valley State Park. This is in North New Jersey, as you can tell by all the rocks and the roots. This is a very, very northeast trail here with all these rock gardens and all the roots and all the tech and all the gnar. So I gotta say, I'm really starting to embrace all the technical trails out here where I live. At first it was a little off-putting, it was very hard to ride on. I think a lot of that had to do with just the way the bike came spec'd. So that coil fork, the SR Suntour, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a heavy coil fork, 120 millimeters of travel. But man, that thing was not very smooth. It was super loud on the trails. So I've upgraded that to a RockShox Recon RL. And man, it's made the world of difference. It rides so much smoother. It's way quieter. There's really no comparison. And it's still basically an entry-level fork, but for my needs right now where I'm at, this is a great fork for me to learn on and to beat up as I learn how to ride over all of this gnar. So the bike itself has been running great. It's incredible. I mean, I did add a dropper seat post, and that's made a big difference, especially going downhill. So I'm able to tuck that seat away and just put my weight over that back tire and just really just feel a lot more confident and stable and safe going downhill. What else did I do? Okay, yeah, I also converted to tubeless. I took it into my local bike shop here in Jersey, and they hooked me up. They converted my tires. I could have done it myself, but I figured this time around I'll have someone that knows what they're doing do it for me. But again, I swapped out the fork. That was a process, but I'm glad that I took the time and put the effort in to do that, because that really has improved the riding on this bike so much. There's just no comparison to the other fork. And the tubeless tires now, they've definitely saved me from a couple pinch flats already. You hit a rock just right and you can kind of feel that tire just kind of get sucked under the rock. It's a weird feeling, but when it happens, you kind of hear a little pop, and if I had a tube in there, I'm sure it would have gone flat a few times already. And just to be able to run at a lower PSI and still feel confident too, that gives me more traction on the trail and stuff. So I'm super happy that I got that taken care of. And now I'm tubeless. Added the dropper seat post. I added the fork. What else did I do? Okay, yeah, the rear brake now. That's 180 millimeters rotor, so stopping power has increased. It's so much better than the little 160. Out here where I live, I definitely need something with a little more stopping power. And so far, I can't complain. It feels really good, really good. Took a while to bed it in, but it's feeling really solid. So this day when I was out at Kittatinny, I started off with some XC trails. That's what you're seeing right now. And I ended with some downhill trails. Climbing up those hills that's another story. There's a really steep climb, and we'll get to it later in the video. But my fitness is still not the best, but it's getting better. A month in, been trying to ride almost every other day, because it's pretty hard to go out every day. Usually the day after I finish riding, my body's pretty much sore and done. It tells me, hey, don't go out today. And mentally, I feel a little tired the day after a ride, so it's good to just rest and go out whenever you feel like you're rested and you're mentally capable of doing it. Yeah, so here I'm riding back on the same trail that you saw at the beginning here. I really like going both directions because it offers different challenges. One direction may be a little easier, just have different feel, you know, because you're going downhill in different sections than the other direction. So here you hit a little bit of flow. It's really nice. Short little XC trail, but this takes us back to a fire road that leads us uphill. I believe it's about a 700-foot climb, and yeah, that's quite a bit for me at this level. So I make it close to about halfway up. Oh, you see right there, I almost hit that little tree. That threw me off. I was going so good, and then that tree popped up out of nowhere. So I took it back, went to hit it again. And this was a recurring theme during this outing here. Now, I don't have all the video clips, but you know, there are a few features that were super tricky. So I'd go back a couple times and I wouldn't leave until I clean it. You know, I'm at that stage now, like, instead of just pushing through something hard, I wanna tackle it. I wanna get better. I don't want to just be an average rider who likes to just do this for fun. Like, I love to do it for fun, but man, I want to get good at it. I want to be able to have the most fun I can have on two wheels. And in order to do that, you gotta learn how to clear stuff. There's a nice little rock garden for you. Yeah, so coming up here, this is a section of the woods here where I start going downhill. Going downhill on this bike, now remember, this is I think it's listed on Fuji's website as a cross-country bike, but it's really a trail bike. It's the same frame as their trail bike, the Outlander or Outland, something like that. So it's got a 68-degree head tube angle, and the specs are pretty much spec'd out for trail. You know, what is a trail bike, an XC bike, really? Like, it's a bike. It feels pretty darn good going downhill. I don't feel like I'm going to get bucked over the handlebars. I don't feel like I'm out of control or anything. You know, it's still, riding downhill is just totally different. You know, especially flying through the woods and on these trails here is really my first time riding these, so I wasn't too certain of what was ahead of me. So I just try to play it nice and easy. Try to keep my eyesight out way in front of me, while also trying to dodge any huge rocks or roots, or just be aware of what's under me at all times as well. That's pretty tricky, but I'm starting to get the hang of it, and man, I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I love going downhill. I just love everything there's to do about mountain biking, really. Like, it's been so much fun, you know, when you're going downhill or uphill or wherever you're going, like, you come across a feature that you didn't think you could clear and you clear it. You know, it's a great feeling. It gives you that sense of accomplishment, you know. In this section here coming downhill, like, there were some big rocks, like narrow little thing. I could have jumped over this rock coming up over here, but again, I'm very new at this and I didn't know what was ahead of me, and I didn't stop to look, you know. But going back to it, I'll probably go back and session that rock and see what it's like to jump off of that. Even that rock there too. There's just so many options. Like, you're looking at it, there's so much you can do, and as I get better and I get better, like, I'm sure I'm going to be taking more risk and trying to clean more stuff. And
Holy crap.
as you can hear my voice there, rounding that corner here on this little bit of downhill section, it was way steeper than you're seeing on the GoPro here. It is basically a sheer drop off with just a thin little trail on this side. So yeah, it kind of took me back. This is my first time riding down it, and man, I can't. It's like Christmas morning when you wake up and you go down and you see the Christmas presents underneath that Christmas tree, and you don't know what's under the wrapper. You know, riding a mountain bike on trails that you've never been on is very, very much the same. It's like, you don't know what you're getting into, and you're around a corner and you see something like that, or up here where you see all this water, this big lake. Like, it's incredible. Like, what other sport do you get to do this on? You know, man, I could rant for days, but basically at the end of the day, I'm in love with mountain biking, and I'm super happy with my progress. I got a long way to go, but I look forward to sharing my experience with you guys, and I can't wait to see what trail I hit up tomorrow. Thanks again for watching, guys, and ride on, my friends.